Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be talking about the entire crypto market. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, overall, I hope everybody's having a great day or a great night wherever you guys are. Today we are going to be addressing a major warning sign throughout this entire market. For the most part, most altcoins are in the red today, as you guys do see. Excuse me. And, I'm buying altcoins that did do very significant moves, but are now down, a lot. Like, honestly, when we are talking about, like, Zilliqa and stuff, like, I'm not going to look to buy Zill. It's down about, like, almost 20%. I mean, if you wanted to get into Zill, around 12 cents would be the main point to really jump in. But I'm definitely watching a lot of, like, OG laggard assets, more so like Dash and stuff like that. Ethereum Classic is down like 16.33%. I think that is one that's pretty significant. There's also EOS. I know that this one actually hasn't been moving as much. It is down about 7.10%. But on the 3-month span, you guys could really kind of see where this came down to. I mean, it came down to test some lows at around like almost $2 exact, which is a incredible opportunity. I mean, like this is the lowest prices that it was at. This is going back to like 2017, right? And this ran to like $22. So, this is one that I think everyone should be keeping a close eye out on. But the major warning sign right now isn't the idea on, hey, should we be buying or what? Because I do think that Bitcoin can come down lower. I said this in yesterday's video, so real quick, let's kind of jump on this and let's talk about this. So, yesterday I said in terms of higher lows, we're looking at the weekly for this more so, right? So we have this low down here at about like 32.9K, followed by about like 34.2, followed by this major support around like 37.7, and then of course the 41.4K fib level. Now, where is the next major higher low going to be put in place? Do you think it is around this point here at about 44.2K? In my opinion, I really do think that 42K to around like 43K will be tested. I said this yesterday, actually. I tweeted this out. Or no, I didn't tweet it out. I said it in the Discord. And I said, I'm looking at Bitcoin. It looks a little weak. It was hitting resistance. It still is at resistance, by the way, at the 382, 46.7K. You guys clearly see that. We're between like support on right now the 20-day EMA. If we do break that, like I said, watch for that 43.4K zone to be tested, aka that orange line, followed by like around like 43 to 42K. So with this, I'm really kind of looking at past, support. There's a lot of support and demand around this like 42.9K to 43K level. That's also, the September lows. I know that the September lows dipped down as far as like 39.5K. I don't think that we go that low. But I will say this. When we are talking about things happening right now within this market and things that are actually happening outside of this market, more so like, this major meeting on, I think that this is Thursday, right? I'm pretty sure I just reported on this yesterday. So it will be Thursday, 10:30 a.m. ET. This speech is going to outline possible steps the Treasury could take to investigate the use and technology of digital assets. Is this going to be bullish? It could be, but I will say this. It could be also a sell the news sort of aspect. I'm just kind of concerned with a lot of these major speeches regarding crypto and also like policy frameworks, regulations, and stuff like that regarding crypto. They usually never end well. And the reason why I say that we could come down lower is right now we are at neutral. 48 currently. Last week we were at greed. Yesterday we were at around like 53. Of course, this does get updated in about 10 hours and 9 minutes. We could quickly readdress this later. But I will say this, when we are talking about fear and greed, I do think that we are getting to the point where we are going to get into the greedy aspect very soon. But first, I do think that we need to experience massive fear. The reason why I say that we need to experience massive fear is because lately a lot of individuals have been making a lot of gains on a lot of assets. I know that a lot of you probably watching this video are probably going to be like, dude, my XRP, my Hbar, my XLM, my QNT, none of those really kind of went off. Yeah, it's because just altcoin movements throughout this market were kind of centered around assets that weren't really moving. But we'll see money flow very well into this market once we do see that last major wave 5 on Bitcoin. We are still expecting that. I'm just saying in the micro view on the short term aspect of this market, expect some downward trend. Like right now, we're currently trading at that green point on the chart at about like that 20-day EMA at roughly almost 44K exact. I'm just watching Bitcoin right now, especially as Bitcoin dominance is continuing to rise. I do believe that we are doing the aspect that I charted the other day, where we have this nice bounce off of this support zone at around like roughly the 41.36% level, followed by a major bounce to like 45 to 47%. I'm watching this very closely because this will lead us to one Bitcoin season and then followed by alt season where we do see massive drops on the Bitcoin dominance scale. Now, all while I am watching this and while we are awaiting this meeting on Thursday, I'm watching stocks. Okay, stocks for the most part open red today. These are fully open. I do have the macro fib level here, and then I of course have the current fib level off of our waves that we are in right now on the weekly. So on the weekly, you guys obviously see the S&P 500 is at that 10-day EMA. We are still rejecting off of the 618. Honestly, look at how similar this chart is to the Bitcoin chart. I mean, it's almost identical in the sense on like where we currently are, except instead of the 618, we're at the 382. This is at major resistance. We need to break that 618. If we do not break that 618, we are not going to see major price movement throughout all markets. I mean, the same goes for even like the NASDAQ, right? Like these are in very similar structures. Again, hitting resistance under the 618 actually. It is hitting resistance at around currently the 14.3K zone. Similar, very similar resistance that we've seen in the past, but it's just following these two candles here, January 31st and of course February 7th. And then this is on the 1 week span. But you do see where that resistance lies. We need to have a significant break. I've always said the 618 is my key area to watch for on the NASDAQ, the S&P, and even the Dow Jones, but it's going to take some time. In fact, you do see the NASDAQ is breaking down below currently the 382. This is concerning because obviously, when we are talking about stocks, they are not having a good time right now. I mean, look at the daily candle here. This is pretty rough. Now, I will say this. When we are talking about the NASDAQ, it's more so kind of centered around the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones not having a good day either. Again, significant resistance being printed out on the chart right now. That resistance was at that 618. That 618 is crucial. I tell you guys time and time again, we need to have a significant break along the board on the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones. This will also lead to Bitcoin having that break above, of course, the 382. In the short-term span, things could get a little bit bearish. I will warn you guys ahead of time. Things look fairly bearish right now on the charts. Even the dollar, right? The dollar is printing right now. And I told you guys, yes, wicks above are totally fine, but we have been gaining some momentum here, guys, which is concerning. I mean, I told you guys this yesterday to kind of de-risk ourselves. I seen the dollar gaining some very strong momentum, and now on the daily span, you guys can kind of see this, right? So, currently, are we hitting resistance at that same point that we've hit before? Not technically. We're hitting some strong highs, followed by kind of slowing momentum in terms of support on what was a resistance point. So now, if we go back to the weekly span, so I don't know why this is taking forever to load. There we have it. So here we have the current structure that we are at. Let me zoom out. So here we have it. So we're basically trading at the same point that we started to trade at. I mean, we've had slight wicks above, right? Like, going back to like February 17th, 2020, we had like these slight wicks above, followed by that tremendous downtrend. But here's that March of 2020 crashing point where the dollar gains so much momentum. Are we trading in a similar structure to this back here where we will start that major downtrend and follow through with that, 2021 time frame? It's hard to say, but I do believe that we get back down to this point here. I told you guys, or I shouldn't say I told you guys, but I showed you guys the bars graph that I kind of laid out where I do believe that we're in a similar structure back here, to this point here. I'm watching something similar like this to happen right now currently. I think that this is going to take some time. But if we have that similar structure where we do kind of build out this weekly candle, it will be something where we do trade that sideways momentum, hit resistance, hopefully at the topping point of the 786 at the 100 area, and gain that, extremely amount of weakness, right? Where we do reject off of that point and start that massive downtrend, which will lead to a breakout event on stocks and crypto. This is what we're watching right now. The dollar is such a crucial area to watch right now, and I don't think a lot of individuals are watching this closely right now and not taking it seriously. This is a very serious chart that we should be watching currently. Now, also, while we are watching this, am I watching some altcoins? I mean, yeah. Yesterday, in fact, on Hbar, I charted Hbar, and I told you that there's two scenarios that could happen. And I told you guys to watch for a break below the EMAs, because I charted where we would have a strong bounce, and we did not have that. I also charted the bearish signal, dropping down to the triple test of the bottom, followed by that impulsive move up. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I would say this: altcoins are very bearish right now. And the reason why is Bitcoin dominance is continuing to rise. While Bitcoin dominance is rising, Bitcoin itself is dropping a little bit. And when we are looking at stocks and we're looking at the dollar, what do they print? They print a bearish viewpoint. Now, all while we are watching this, look at the Bitcoin, charts for these altcoins. Very bearish. Lowest prices that lowest points that we've seen since going back as far as December. This is very bearish. Same goes for XRP, right? XRP is gaining some strength around the support zone, but ultimately, all that matters is the Bitcoin price chart. Very bearish price charts here. Now, I will say this: XRP looks a little bit more stronger than HBAR, which is something that, is addressable. But it's still the idea that altcoins right now are not showing a lot of strength opposed to Bitcoin. There's a few altcoins, like I showed you on the 24-hour span, that are still up a little bit. But for the most part, I mean, it's only two assets. I mean, the rest are like stable coins that are green, and everything else is pretty much red, right? So, I mean, altcoins right now are just not bullish. Now, of course, there's other assets like QNT, right? So I quickly addressed QNT a little bit earlier. But this has been sort of in a bearish momentum state since we did hit that resistance at that 200-day EMA. Again, downward trend since March 28th. This is significant because a lot of altcoins are still at massive resistance areas. Even Ethereum is actually at a massive resistance area. That 35, almost $3,600 level is the point that we need to kind of break out of. Now, we've almost hit this resistance point before, going back to October 4th, even going back to like September 13th as well. This is on the 1 week span. You guys have the daily chart as well. So when we're talking about this, I mean, you guys can clearly see that resistance going back to October. We need to break out of that in order for us to have that breakout event to retest the all-time high. But the issue here is altcoins in terms of their strength. They are not very strong at all currently. This is a concerning factor. I don't think that, people are realizing this, that when we are looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin looks pretty weak. Bitcoin dominance looks very strong. Stocks are not having a great day. And I've addressed that you should be watching the stocks throughout the week if you are, in crypto. This, kind of gives you a little bit of a better insight on why is my crypto going down, right? Now, as we are watching stocks, as we are watching Bitcoin, I'm preparing for this speech because although the speech is Thursday, everything looks pretty weak throughout this market. So who knows what's going to happen with this, meeting? I can't tell you if this is going to cause a crash or not. I just know typically we see a sell the news aspect around all of these major meetings that are supposed to be, in quotation marks, bullish for crypto. So I am a little bit concerned. I think that if you are an altcoin holder, I think right now the best time to do is like kind of hodl if you have, gotten in early enough. I wouldn't be taking any positions just yet if you are trying to buy. So, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, if you do want more like content where I do have my exit plans, trading indicators, stuff like that, you guys are more than welcome to go check out NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.